So, hey, you. How are you doing? Oh, I'm doing good. How are you doing, Tariq? Oh, I'm doing good. I just wanted to ask if you want to go out sometime. Get some pizza or ice cream. Oh, that's sweet, but I'm not into faggots. Oh, okay. I guess I'll go into the friend zone. Yeah, you go into the friend zone like the little faggot bitch you are. Bye. What is up, seekers of indecency? I fucked that up, but I only do one take. It's your host here, the Weird Widow, and welcome to episode 13 of the Indecent Exposure Show. And today we're going to do the friend zone. I wanted to have a little fun. I didn't really have anything to talk about. Really, most other subjects I have to do a lot of research about, and I like to actually get my facts straight. This topic, however, is not one that's really, it's more subjective, especially since it doesn't really exist. And what I'm going to do today is the friend zone. Unless I already said that, I have a very bad memory. So yeah, we're doing the friend zone. You're just like, well, you could do Black Lives Matter. You could talk about racism. You could talk about the conflicts in the Middle East. You could talk about politics. I know I could talk about all that, but I know this isn't a very big problem, but I want to talk about it anyway, so fuck that. So to start off, I want to actually list out the definitions of the friend zone, because multiple sites, many sites have different ones. So I wanted to list at least like two that I could find, because most of you already know it, but it's always good to actually definitively tell a definition. So the first definition is of friend zone is a situation in which a friendship exists between two people, one of whom has an unreciprocated romantic or sexual interest in the other. And an example of this is, I always wind up in the friend zone watching them pursue other guys. So that's the first one. That's I googled it, and that is the first definition that came up. Sometimes when you Google certain words, the definition will come up right there. You don't even have to click any websites now. It's a cool fucking feature. Then I went to Urban Dictionary, and this is the Urban Dictionary definition of the friend zone, which is, this is the worst position someone can be in. I was gonna do the whole voice for the definition, but it's annoying. This is the worst position someone can be in if they have feelings for someone. When a person develops romantic feelings for someone, but the other person only sees the relationship as just being friends. Because the two are around each other a lot, the one in love will harbor his or her feelings for the other, only to become completely consumed by this person. This leads to the one in love to complain to all his or her friends about the situation, and to become pussy whipped by they other. Yes, not the other, they other. So basically, the definition they use is, Tom meets Amy and falls in love, but Amy does not hold the same feelings. Therefore, the two become friends, and that's it. Now, Tom, being around Amy and just friends, harbors his romantic feelings for her. He then will become pussy whipped for her by her, and complain to all his friends about his feelings for her. At this point, Tom should realize he's in the friend zone and should move on. Now, it's just. Oh, and another one. When a girl decides that you're her friend, you're no longer a dating option. You become this complete non-sexual entity in her eyes, like her brother or a lamp. I know that's from some fucking movie. I know it's a movie reference that I've watched. I know it was something, but I can't remember it. Anyway, that's basically the friend zone. When you like someone and they don't like you back. And, that's just friend zone. Mind you, I don't think the friend zone exists. I don't. I just don't think it exists. It really doesn't exist to me. It doesn't exist. It's a made up thing. And I know that everything is a made up concept, but at least those things have some merit. Like it's a total made up concept. Like really, it's a made up concept. It doesn't exist. The friend zone does not exist. Mind you, if someone said, if someone made up the term, the other person does not want to fuck me zone, then yes, that exists. Because that's basically being rejected. That's being rejected. The friend zone is not a thing. It's not a place that you go to. You're fucking banished. Like they say, oh yeah, I don't fucking like you. You're just my friend. Go to the fucking friend zone. It's not like General Zod being exiled into Krypton. Like no. No. It's not a thing. It's not a place. Mind you, I know a lot of people know that. And when a lot of people say, well, she sent me to the friend zone or he sent me to the friend zone, they're just joking. Unfortunately, however, there are too many people who actually don't know that it isn't real. You know, they use it in all seriousness when it is not actually real. You know, there's two things you can do. When you meet a woman or you meet a guy, there's two things you can do. You can either tell your feelings. You can say, I like you. Would you like to go out with me? Would you like to go out sometime? Or this is the thing, you just leave, okay? You leave. Well, maybe that's a little quick. Basically, it's two things. It's two things you can do. When someone is just your friend, you can either tell them how you feel or you can leave. That is what I meant to say first. You can either tell them how you feel or you can leave. Ask them out and accept the consequences or the rewards of your actions, or leave the relationship. Just move on. Honestly, people act like being someone's friend is the worst thing possible. Mind you, it's very disappointing if you had no intentions of friendship and they straight up reject your ass. However, being friends is not the worst thing. It's not the worst thing. It's not bad to be someone's friend. I mean, honestly, if you actually don't want to be someone's friend, if the only thing you wanted from them was to go out with them in hopes of a romantic relationship or fucking, then if the other party does not hold that interest, then yes, by all means, you can move on. No one's going to hold you accountable for that. Because it is well in your right to move on just as much as it's in their right to reject you for whatever reason. So that's basically it. Either because a lot of people put themselves into this casket. You know, they kill their self-esteem, they kill their hopes and dreams by just setting the bar too up there, man. Because people are it's chemicals and hormones and a whole bunch of shit, especially in today's day and age. People lose interest so quickly. It's fucking mad. It really is fucking mad. So honestly, don't stick around. That's the worst thing to do. If you see someone you like and they don't like you, the worst thing to do is stick around in hopes that you'll be able to actually magically get them to fucking like you. Like, the only way you probably do that is if it's this Rick and Morty episode I watched, and Morty likes Jessica. So Morty actually asked his grandpa Rick to actually give him something so that Jessica will like him. Which, I love Morty, but that was creepy as fuck. So Jessica is not attracted to him. You know, they've talked a couple times, however, she's not romantically attracted to him. And Rick gives him the formula, and he uses it, but of course Rick fucked up, and it causes Jessica and anybody else that got ingested with it, they cause them to obsessively actually just be attracted to Morty. So just don't fucking totally watch that episode, by the way. But it's not fucking effective or warranted, or just it's not recommended to fucking stay around someone that you're attracted to knowing that they are not attracted to you the same way, because you will only hurt yourself. Mind you, I have done this when I was younger. You know, I'm 21, I'm about to turn 22 now. And I've done this when I'm older. When I was younger. Not when I'm older. When I was younger. Because I didn't know as much as I do now. Honestly, it warranted. I don't know as much as I do now. And you can only help yourself by moving on, honestly. No one's gonna blame you for actually moving on when you know that your feelings are not gonna be reciprocated. It's all there is. Because if you stick around with the person, that person's gonna be on your mind all the time. Whatever fucking shallow reasons you had for actually going and being attracted to them, whatever, it's only going to get worse. That is it. That is all it is. Avoid the person as quickly and as often as you can until your heart fucking gets cold and you don't care about this person anymore in any way whatsoever. Or maybe until, you know, you can actually be friends with the person. Like, you don't give a fuck about the person in any other way except platonic. A platonic natured relationship. That's all I can say. But don't stick around waiting for them to change their mind. Because majority of the time they won't. Either she's gonna be fucking some other dude, or he's gonna be fucking some other girl. Probably multiples. Maybe gangbangs. You don't know. And it's gonna fucking eat away at you until you you go crazy. You go mad. And then one day you just snap. And no, I don't have anything to talk about. I'm completely fine. I'm alright. Okay? I'm not having any flashbacks. Don't worry. I'm just telling you how it is. Honestly. And people need to lose this preconception that being nice gets you laid. Like, being nice means that you're entitled to something. You should be kind. You should be nice to someone. You should be considerate to someone, people, because you want to. No one's gonna give you a fucking medal for actually being nice. Being nice is just a thing you do. It's not, oh, thank you for holding the door for me. Would you like to eat my pussy while I suck your dick? No one's gonna do that. And if someone does that, get the fuck away from that person, because they're a fucking weirdo. Not my type of weirdo, the crazy type of weirdo. Alright, I am a crazy type of weirdo, but the dangerously crazy type of weirdo. The kind that'll fucking corrupt your kids and shit. Honestly, so being nice does not get you pussy. And I mean, if it's a guy, it might get you dick. Anyway, moving on. So being nice does not definitively get you anything, and it damn sure doesn't entitle you to anything. Nothing. You know, it's nice. People will probably remember it. It's nice. But it doesn't get you anything. Mind you, it doesn't get you anything. You should just be nice because you want to be nice. When you bring entitlement into it, it just causes things to get worse. I mean, who told people that by just being nice, it honestly, you know, being nice definitely makes you more attractive, but being nice is not the be-all, end-all to anything. Honestly, imagine this. Someone comes up to you, girl, guy, comes up to you, and they introduce themselves to you, and, you know, you realize they're incredibly nice, you know, they're very considerate, they're very kind. However, you ask them about themselves, and they don't have anything. They don't do anything. They don't have any type of past. They don't have any stories. They don't have shit. They have no culture. They have no original thoughts whatsoever. It's like that SpongeBob episode where SpongeBob, they had to put on like a fine restaurant, and all SpongeBob knew how to do was fine dining and breathing. Fine dining and breathing. That was all he knew how to do. So honestly, if someone like that came up to you, how interesting would you find them? I'm just curious. I'm very curious. Because if all someone has is to offer to any type of relationship is they're nice, then you're not going to find that person interesting majority of the time. Maybe they're hot. Maybe they're very attractive. That might get them through the door. However, if you have average type looks, it's definitely not getting you in. Unfortunately, didn't get me in, especially through high school. I went to Midwood High School. Didn't get me in at all. Maybe one time, but then she cheated on me 4 months later because I fucking bored her. That's what happens. Okay? That's what fucking happens. Okay? Like you're gonna want to look at the person who has similar interests to you, or maybe different interests to you, but those interests are interesting. They're their hobbies, what they choose, the way they speak, what they speak about, things that they are passionate about, things they want to do, ambitions in life. All this is important in terms of attraction. In high school, I didn't do much. I really didn't have anything I wanted to do. My mom asked me, are you interested in any clubs? I said no. Are you interested in playing sports? At the time, no. And later on, I had completely tore all the ligaments in my left knee. So sports was out of the way. Out of the park. It was gone. So that's done. And mind you, I didn't really have much I really was interested in. I was very unmotivated, and I was also very overweight. I think those two things went hand in hand because I didn't give a fuck about anything except eating. However, I'm going to get on my eating habits in another episode. It's a totally different episode. Because honestly, I think I should be dead right now, but I should have been dead a long time ago. I don't mean that on some depressed shit. I mean like medically. But yeah. But so that was me then. That was me in high school. Now, me now. Mind you, I don't really get a lot of girls, like barely any. No woman in City Tech really looks at me and says, oh my, I want to fuck his brains out. No one's really doing that. And with good reason, because supposedly people say I look fucking angry all the time. I don't know. But now I've decided I want to be a writer. I'm trying to write novels and screenplays and most of all comic books. I'm doing this podcast shit. I want to do voiceovers and all that stuff, voice acting, actual acting, and all this shit. I want to make my own animation shorts. I read a lot of books now and other stuff like that. I write poetry. I'm trying to publish a poetry book when I'm finished with it. So honestly, it's not much, but it's an interest. People could say, oh, you write poetry. Write me a poem. I'm so moist. Like, it's something, at least. You gotta have something, okay? Like, I'm way more ambitious than my past self. Honestly, I even fucking work out like a fucking gym rat. And I'm slowly working at studying so I can actually take a test to get a personal training certificate. I don't even know if I'm gonna fucking use it like that, because I can't take people's shit sometimes. But at least it's something. Have something. Have some interest. Have some interest that people can ask you about and people can wonder about and imply about and inquire about. Ask something. Have something to talk about. Have something to talk about. Because I'm one of those people who at first won't like to talk about themselves. So if you ever meet any of those people, you're going to have to actually know how to hold a conversation. You're going to have to learn how to talk about yourself until the other person is actually more comfortable with talking with you. Mind you, I know it's a pain in the ass, but that's sometimes how it is. That's really how it is. We're back into the other aspects of the friend zone. Basically, honestly, this idea that rejection, initially you've been rejected and now you're in the friend zone, kind of shows that you don't really respect people's choices, because it's kind of a place of entitlement. I'm me, so people should definitely give me a shot and fuck me and take me on dates or let me take them on dates. It doesn't work like that. There has to be a mutual attraction between two parties, consensual, which is another thing that some people don't fucking know the actual meaning to these days. That's another thing entirely. Consensual, honestly. So you have to respect people's choices, because when you demonize people, when you villainize them, to actually say, oh, you put me in the friend zone, I'm been fucking sexually oppressed by you because you won't fucking give me a shot, because you're not attracted to me, but you won't give me a shot anyway. Honestly, it makes you sound like a fucking loser. Honestly, it really does. It makes you sound like a fucking loser, because you gotta respect people's choices, because then you make people feel like what they feel, what their feelings are, don't matter. And guess what? That's not gonna get you pussy. That's not gonna get you laid. Mind you, I just inherently said that guys do it, but a lot of guys do it, honestly. I'm pretty sure some women do it as well, but I've only really heard it on threads from guys. I've heard it from some girls too, but they didn't seem as pissed about it for some reason or whatever. And also, thing about it is too, if there's a problem with being, a woman's friend, just for the guys, being a woman's friend, you gotta ask, do you value that person as a whole, or are they just a sex object for you? Honestly, I mean, also women the same way. I'm pretty sure that some women just, just want a guy's dick. They just want to have sex with them and nothing else. I'm pretty sure. Mind you, I'm pretty sure some guys don't mind, but I'm sure that other guys do mind. Honestly, for both sexes, you gotta ask, do you value people as a whole, or do you just want sex from them? Like, do they mean nothing? And is that the reason why you're so pissed at being supposedly thrown in the friend zone? It's like, I imagine people's metaphors for being in the friend zone is just, it was horrible, man. Like, you've been thrown in a Russian gulag or some bullshit like that, honestly. But really, though, if you don't want, to be in the friend zone, then get away from the person that you're interested in as soon as possible. Like, ring the bell, like have an alert, fucking emergency alert. Just get the fuck away. Honestly, just move to Canada or some shit. Really, just do it. Just really just do it, because it's only going to get worse. Never gets better. This is not like the story of Kim Possible, where Kim and Ron got together in the last movie. This is not that. This is real life. It's not like Danny Phantom, where Danny and Sam kissed in the last movie. And this is not the way it works. And since I have to go on friend zoning, I feel like another topic to end this off is actually to discuss the white knight syndrome. The white knights. The white knights. Oh boy. So, as found on Urban Dictionary, the definition of white knight syndrome as they have it is a personality characteristic found in most males that lead them to 1. Rush to the aid of any female they see who appears in any form or distress. 2. Become attached to said damsel in distress. 3. Follow the dying code of chivalry and generally act like a nice guy. Also called young man's disease. And the example they give is, nice guys finish last, Tony asked. So does that make white knight syndrome bad? And honestly, the white knights somewhat get on my nerves. And another definition of white knight syndrome that I found is, the white knight syndrome represents a strong inclination some men have to seek women who are or appear to be in need of help. Usually the more help the merrier, and on his own initiative provide that help, often no matter the sacrifice, without requesting anything in return, basically. And they have a list of they have like a model, basically. This is, with this penchant towards saving women comes a whole set of perceptions that model the white knight's emotions and behavior. Your archetypical white knight sees women as powerless and unable to defend or take care of themselves, sees women's problems as the result of misfortune or the cruelty of this world, never as their own fault. Women are never responsible for their troubles, considers it men's responsibility to help women solve their problems and sees doing so as a sign of nobility, and thinks a woman will forever be grateful to a man who helps her. She will praise him, love him, and give herself to him. And the last one is, sees men in black and white. They are either good or bad. There is no middle ground, and the decisive factor is how they treat women. Whew, boy, Jesus. Now, there's many problems with this. Many fucking problems with this. Many problems with this. Oh boy, where do I start? So sees women as powerless and unable to defend or take care of themselves. Mind you, this is a very this is a troubling thing, because women are not powerless. Mind you, maybe physically wise, muscle wise, possibly in terms of physiology, women are less strong than men. You know, considering that they don't train. Because I see women at my gym who are incredibly strong, and I would not call them powerless. Definitely not powerless. They're definitely able to defend or take care of themselves. Mind you, if someone attacks you, guys can be seen as powerless as well. Honestly, anybody can be, if you catch someone an off day, they can be, you know, unable to defend themselves against a certain person. So that's really just bullshit. And mainly they're talking about like online, like someone is getting attacked and online in the comments, and they're just like, you know, you guys shouldn't pick on her like that, you know, it wasn't her fault, you know, bullshit like that, honestly. Because of course, yes, people's problems do sometimes come from the cruelty of the world. Like someone just wants to fuck with them for no reason whatsoever. Like a woman, I believe, at Winthrop Street, she dropped her scarf. A man came over and he gave it to her. He called her beautiful. I'm just reading the headline. He just called her beautiful, and then he attacked her. Now, that is a misfortune. That is not the woman's fault. She did not know that man was actually going to attack her, because, you know, you're not psychic. So that's one example. But women, men, everyone are at times responsible for their own problems. Lord knows that I am. Lord knows that a lot of my friends are. And Lord knows that my parents have been, and my family. So that's also bullshit. You know, considers it is men's responsibility to help women solve their problems, and sees doing so as a sign of mobility. Mind you, it is no one's responsibility to help anyone. You know, if you want to help someone, help someone. If you don't want to help someone, then don't. However, it is no one's responsibility. Maybe your child's. Maybe you feel a sense of responsibility to your family or your friends. However, you choose to have that responsibility. You choose to make that task your responsibility. So it's not innately your responsibility. It doesn't incrementally go into place, mind you. So it's noble to do things, you know, helping people, depending on the context. However, it is no one's straight responsibility. Like, as soon as you're born, it's your responsibility to help people. You should always help people. You know, you should always help people, you know, when you can or however you can. However, it is not your straight responsibility to do so. Now, the next one is, thinks a woman will forever be grateful to a man who helps her. She will praise him, love him, and give herself to him. This is also bullshit because, yes, a woman will be grateful to a man who helps her. She probably will praise him, but love him and give herself to him? That is, you know, I'm already assuming too much. I don't like assuming this much. However, love him and give herself to him? I mean, like, what is she, a psychopath? A psychopath. Because if a man was put in that situation, you know, if it was the other way around, they'd also be psychopaths, honestly. Well, like, really, mind you, people are grateful. You should be grateful to people who help you, whoever helps you. A man helps a man, woman helps a woman, woman helps a man, man helps woman. You should be grateful to anyone who helps you. If they were of genuine help, you should actually be grateful to them. You know, you should praise them, you should thank them. However, love them and give yourself to them? No, it's bullshit. Someone helping you does not entitle them to anything. Goes back to entitlement. It doesn't entitle them to anything. If you help someone, it doesn't entitle you to anything. It really doesn't. If they asked for your help, that's a bit different in the context. It depends relationship to relationship. However, if you decide to help someone or someone decides to help you, there's no entitlement involved. Even a sugar daddy pays for the time and, you know, comfort that the sugar baby actually supplies him with. You know, that is an economic gain right there. That is an economic gain. That's basically capitalism at its finest. A service is being supplied for money, honestly. So there's no entitlement. There's really no entitlement involved at all. All that is bullshit. Anyone who thinks entitlement is cool or they're entitled to anything, be it sex or, you know, attention or money or whatever else like that, that's bullshit. Honestly, it's just bullshit. You are entitled to nothing except to die. That is your entitlement. The minute you were born, you're entitled to a death. You're entitled to die one day. That is the only thing that you are entitled to. Nothing else is entitled to you. Especially not people, honestly. Then sees men in black and white. They are either good or bad. There is no middle ground. And the decisive factor is how they treat women. Now, mind you, you can't see people in black and white. It's not possible. It's not possible. They are either good or bad. Mind you, it's really, for the most part, it's not possible because there are so many factors in society that you shouldn't think this way, honestly, in my opinion. You shouldn't think this way because it is a very limited way of thinking, honestly. Like a rapist, I consider a rapist bad. That is a very, you know, specific example, however. You know, if a guy does not hold the door for a person, even though he could, does that make him bad? Does that make him a bad person because he didn't actually hold the door open? You know, so that's why I think that's bullshit. You know, there is a middle ground to many things. If you see a homeless person on the street and you don't give him money, does that make you a bad person? Even though you may, you may help people in other ways, but you choose not to give to that guy for whatever reason you have, does that make you bad? You know, do you do things that, because mind you, not giving money to people is not a bad thing. You know, I tend to give to homeless people because that's just what I want to do, but it's not innately a bad thing. However, First you have to look at what is good and what is bad, because people have different perceptions of good and bad. What is good to you could be bad to me, and what's bad to me could be good for you. It's like your mainstream music somewhat. It's good to people, however it's bad to me. It sucks. Honestly, I can't understand a fucking word they say. However, other people just bump that shit all they want. It makes them feel good. Honestly. So that's, I'm getting a little bit off track, I understand. What the decisive factor is how they treat women. That's not true. That's way too little. Like one factor, like how you treat women, is the fucking thing that says whether you're good or bad. Mind you, if you beat a woman, yeah, for no reason, you might be a bad guy. You might be a piece of shit. You might be a piece of shit. Mind you, if she was coming at you with a knife or a gun, I'm like, oh yeah, fucking hit her. Fucking hit anybody who fucking comes at you and wants to threaten your life. The same way if a guy came at you, if with a knife or a gun, you'd fucking smash his lights out. Honestly, so just do that. However, if a woman is minding her own business, if anyone is minding their own business, and you go and you hit them, and that makes you a piece of shit. Honestly, unless it's like phone booth, where someone has a sniper on you and they're making you do weird shit. They're like, hit that guy in the face or else I'm gonna fucking shoot his nuts off. You better fucking punch that guy in the face. If he ever finds out, I'm pretty sure he's gonna thank you. He's like, thanks man, you saved my nuts. But if that's not the thing, then that's null and void. Honestly, I feel like a better decisive factor would be how you treat people. Honestly, how do you treat people who have no benefits for you, who can't help you in any way? How do you treat them? That would be a better decisive factor than just women, because that's only one side of the coin. That's a very limited way of looking at things and a limited way of thinking. Honestly, it's just bad. It's just very bad. It's very bad, and it's very regressive thinking. The friend zone is very regressive. Mind you, the only time I enjoy looking at the friend zone is at memes. I love memes. I love fucking memes. Like, I look at memes many times a day. Like, where's the memes? Where's the memes? Where's the memes? And I just recently got into JoJo. I'm up to Stardust Crusaders at the time of this podcast. And I'm finally starting to understand the Jotaro memes. But I haven't gotten to Diamond is Unbreakable, so I don't get the Diamond is Unbreakable memes. But yeah, I love memes. I'm getting off track. I love memes. But the only time I actually enjoy seeing the friend zone is in jokes. Like, I'll joke about it like, oh man, she put me in the friend zone, man. She put me in the friend zone, man. I guess I'm staying here forever. But when people tend to take it seriously, it goes a bit too far. Anyway, I've fucking been talking long enough. So all I'm going to say is basically the morals of the story, what you should have taken away from this if you made it to the end of this podcast. And that is basically, the friend zone does not exist. If you find yourself in a position where you have feelings for someone and they don't realize it or they don't have them, you can either tell people your feelings and accept the consequences or the rewards of your actions, or leave. Separate yourself from that person. Do not make contact with that person. Honestly, that's pretty much what you have to do. And being nice, being a nice guy or a nice person entirely does not get you laid. That does not entitle you to sex. You are not entitled to a person's body or attention. No one owes you anything. And you don't owe anybody else anything unless you do. Unless you have it, like a spoken contract. Yes, I owe you for that. Like someone gave you a MetroCard swipe because you asked for it. You said you'd pay them back. Then yes, you owe that person a fucking MetroCard swipe. However, no. So that's the basics of those that. And also respect people's choices. Respect people enough that when they say no, it means no. Don't vilify them for making a choice that they want to make. Because if someone's not attracted to you, they're not attracted to you. That's it. That's a hard lesson to learn, but take rejection well and move on. And that's pretty much it. That's pretty much it. I mean, I've pretty much said all I feel that I need to say. You know, value people. Don't lead people on, because that's probably the only way that it turns messy, is if you lead people on. You know, the context then comes in there. But if you don't lead people on, then honestly, you'll be fine. You'll be fine. But I've talked enough. It's the Weird Weirdo. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you next episode. Peace.